The NPC Southern Muscle. Okay,
Yes.
so I know I mentioned in your intro a
Yeah.
bodybuilder, female bodybuilder,
Yes.
which honestly I didn't know they had that, you know.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
but when I seen that, did my research,
Mhm.
I seen that, and you actually won first place in your category, correct, or your division you was in, correct?
Correct. Correct.
So, how that came about, what made you do it, and just talk about that.
So, it I had always wanted to take fitness to a whole new level, but I wasn't really sure how I wanted to do it. And they came about with this division called Wellness Division, and this was way before, like, when I first started working out, they didn't have this division. So this division is brand new. It's probably, I think, about 5 years, 6 years old. Um, so it's made for girls that are thicker, that are more curvier, and because when I first started working out, people told me that I should compete, but the only category that they had was bikini, and for that division, they told me that I would have to lose, like, I think, like 20 something pounds. Now, mind you, I just put on 20 something pounds because I was trying to get thick.
Thicker.
You know
Yeah,
what I
you ain't
mean?
about to go back to that. Yeah,
Right. So
I
I'm
feel
like,
that.
I'm not about to go back to being skinny again.
Yeah,
That's
you don't
not
want to
for
be a pole. Don't
right.
worry about
I'm not trying to look like a little string bean.
it.
So
You
I'm
don't want to
like,
look like a stick. Don't worry
nah.
about it.
I wasn't having it. So I was
Uh,
like, nah, that's not for me. So they came up with this division called Wellness Division, and um, so I became interested in it because I'm like, all right, this seems like something more up my speed. So a couple of years later down the line, I ended up going to this gym that basically it's made for a lot of bodybuilders. So a lot of people in the gym would tell me like, "Hey, like you do you compete in wellness division?" And I'm like, "No, I just work out just to work out." And so I did my research on it. I'm like, "Yeah, like this is definitely what I want to do. Like this seems interesting." So um, I ended up doing my research on it and getting a coach to help me coach me through like how to do it. Um, and I went from there and I ended up losing like maybe 30, 35 pounds. I think I started off at 175 before the show, and then I cut down to 145, 140, 145, something like that. And it was a big transition because I was so used to being a certain size, and then when I cut down all that weight, I was just like, this is different. But I didn't look skinny. I still looked good, if that makes sense. Like I thought I would have looked terrible, but for that I looked good.
right.
You know what I mean? So and then yeah, so it was a great experience. Great
So how
experience.
long was the event? Like, was it a weekend event, a 1 day event? Did you have to go through different like rounds, like how you did for Juilliard?
It was a 1 day event. They had a morning show and then they had a night show. So the morning show was for prejudging. So basically, you went out, you did a couple poses, and then basically the judges judged you like to what they thought, like who they thought would win. And then the second show, I think, was just really like lanyap. It wasn't really like they were really judging. They had already picked who they wanted to win. It was just for people to come and see you, like basically perform in a sense. So
Okay, so you won like a medal or something for that?
yeah, I won a medal. I won three. I won first place in both my categories, and I won overall in my category. So I was really proud because I was on a struggle bus for this competition. Most days I was unhappy because of my eating. Like I wasn't eating much. My diet was horrible. I had low energy. And then also being a female and, going through like PMSing and going through like your whole body changes throughout this process. So it was just a whole process and like just a whole different environment that I had to deal with. Not environment, but like a different. It was something different that I had to deal with because it wasn't something that I was used to. So, yeah.
So what's the next one? Are you doing the next one, or that was it? That was just like a one-time thing. I ain't trying to go through all that again. I'm not trying to just
Yeah.
eat a tomato a day. You know,
No.
is that something you gonna do again, or is it something that
So
was just all right, cool? That was on my bucket list. I did it.
to
Now I'm on to
do
the next.
no, I see myself doing it again. It was really rewarding,
Okay.
especially because I feel like um, the fact that I was natural, I could see that that I was made to do this. Like
Mhm.
my body was built for this because I feel like um, a lot of people in the bodybuilding world, they do take different supplements and to kind of help them with their physique.
Mhm.
And I'm grateful enough to have the physique that I do, um, and so I feel like when you're gifted in that way, you have to utilize that, because I feel like I'm not saying that I didn't work hard, because I do work hard for it, but I feel like because I'm naturally gifted in that way, I feel like I have no choice but to use my gift in that way. So um, um, I do see myself doing it more. I pray to get my pro card one day. So that's my goal, is to get my pro card